I'm about to give you the highest leverage activity you can do today to change your life. And the reason I know it's the highest leverage activity is because it's what I'm doing right now, and it's what thousands and millions of people have done to ultimately live the life of their dreams, and a life that they don't want to escape from, a life that they love instead of a life of quiet desperation, instead of a life of just miserable contentment, hating waking up, hating going to work, and continuing to live a life that is untrue to their potential. And the simple highest leverage activity is to just start living a life true to who you are. That's it. The reason you are unhappy, the reason that you are just so miserable is because you're not living a life true to who you are. Now, I'm not talking about live your truth, because that's a whole bunch of BS. I'm talking about living a life that is in alignment with your integrity, with your values, with who you are and what you stand for. I have met hundreds of people who it's just excuse after excuse after excuse why they can't do this, why they can't do that. You have one life to live. You will have to account to God for that one life that you live. And if you're sitting at home, you're gripped with fear and you don't want to do anything, you're afraid of what your boss is going to say, you're afraid of what your friends are going to say, all that says is that you are living a life that's not true to who you are. You need to step out, you need to take risk, and you need to start doing the things that you want to do. It's as simple as that. You could move cross country. You could take that leap of faith and start that photography business. You could take that leap of faith and just start a garden. Whatever it is, start to live true to you. As an entrepreneur, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to hate your life. You're going to struggle if you are constantly trying to please everyone, constantly trying to jump over hoops to make people happy. And at the end of the day, the only person that you are accountable to is God. He is the only one who's going to hold you accountable for your actions. So at the end of the day, who cares what people think? Who cares what they say? You have to live true to you and your values and your integrity. And the reason that I know this is because for so long, I have not been living that way. And the biggest change, the biggest shift I had in my life was when I started to live true to those values, started to step out on faith, and didn't do things because I had to, but started to do things because I wanted to. I decided that I was never going to live a life of obligation, never going to do things because I have to, but only do things because I want to. And now it's a very different distinction than following my emotions and doing what I feel like, but choosing to do the things that I want to do. If I choose to be an entrepreneur and start an agency or start some sort of construction business or any type of business, if I choose to do that, and that's what my focus is going to, it doesn't matter how I feel in the moment, I'm going to follow through on a daily basis and have discipline in my actions. That being said, I don't want to live that life of obligation that so many people are stuck in. I remember for years I worked in insurance and I hated it, but it was because it was a good job, it paid the bills, and it was that life of obligation. It wasn't until I quit my job and took that step of faith and started to pursue tech and pursue entrepreneurship that my life really changed, and not any other reason than I was more fulfilled. I felt every single day, I felt excitement, I felt purpose, I felt the ability to just create my own destiny, create my plans, create just a life that I wanted to live. But living that life of quiet desperation, going to work every day, sitting in traffic every day, hating my life, that was not true to who I was. And so I don't know who needs to hear this or what that decision is for you, but you need to stop thinking you are held to some held by gunpoint in whatever it is you're doing. If you have had the desire to go on a trip to Japan, then go on the freaking trip to Japan. You're not limited, you're just choosing not to. And so anything that you think you can't do or that you have to do, just start to think that you are choosing to do that. I heard an incredible quote, which is you either create or allow everything that goes on in your life. And by not living a life true to who you are, true to your purpose, true to your destiny, true to what God has called you to, you are allowing everything in your life. And so just sit and think about that what you're doing right now, whether you like it or not, you are allowing it to happen. If you want something different, you have to change. You have to change your choices. You have to change your actions. You have to change something to move forward. And that starts by deciding you're not going to live that life of obligation. You're not going to live a life incongruent with your values and what you know you are called to do. If you disagree with somebody, it's okay to disagree. You don't have to bend over backwards and just jump over all the hoops to try and make them happy. You can stand on principles. You can stand on integrity. If you have philosophical differences, moral differences, it's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to boil or to hide those emotions, to hide those feelings because you're trying to make someone else happy. You should be living a life where all your actions line up with what God has called you to do.